Hello, and in today's video we are doing Premier League predictions for match week number 4 of the 2022-23 season. That's right, Premier League predictions back on the channel. And we're going to look back at last week, see how the comments got on, see how we got on, and review what was a very, very surprising game week 3. I mean, there were some big shocks, and we're going to discuss all of that, plus our predictions for this upcoming weekend of football. So, let's get cracking, shall we? Before we do, make sure, remember, smash a like on the video, comment down your predictions in the comment section below, and you'll get a shout out in the next video. And I'll see how many points you get and tally it all up and all that lovely stuff, if I can remember. But, of course, we will shout out the best comments, best predictions. Be really interesting to see what people are going for. So, just looking back then at match week number 3's predictions video. Thanks for the support on the channel, up to 180 subs. So those that aren't subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, so you don't miss a single Premier League, Watford, or even predictions video. And don't forget as well that on my FPL channel, you can hit that subscribe button too. FPL Yellow Army, to look at all of my fantasy team reveals ahead of each match week. But, first of all, let's address game week 3. It was a very interesting one. So we had Mella in the comments predict Spurs 0, Wolves 1. I'm afraid to say that it was the wrong way round. So no points for you there. You said 1-0 to Palace against Villa. Well, that was a 3-1 victory for Palace. So that's a nice result there. One kind of correct result, but you get yourself 3 points there. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. I feel for you because that was right if it wasn't for the 88th minute and Damari Gray. So again, no correct result. Still on the 1 point there. Sorry, the 3 points there. Then Fulham against Brentford. You said 1-0 Fulham. Correct goal difference. It was 3-2. So nice, up to 8 points there. Very good prediction. And you said Mitro's on fire, and he did get the winner. So impressive there. You said 2-0 to Southampton. Also, that was a correct result. So again, very good. Up to a nice tally of 11 points. Bournemouth Arsenal, you went for a draw. It was, of course, a 3-0 Arsenal win. So no points there. You're still on 11. You said West Ham 0, Brighton 2. That's a great prediction. Bang on the money. Very, very clever stuff. So you're up to a nice tally there of 18 points with that 7-pointer correct scoreline. And then you said Leeds 0, Chelsea 2. Nope. Newcastle 0, City 3. That's very decent indeed. As a prediction, you would think, but it finished 3-3. And 6-0 to Liverpool. I'm afraid that was 2-1 to United. So finishing on a very respectable 18 points. Well done to Mella. Looking at the other comments as well, we had DK. He had very decent predictions. One correct result. He said 2-1 to Spurs against Wolves. It was, of course, 1-0. So correct goal difference there, 5 points. You said 2-0 to Palace against Villa. It was 3-1. So again, another correct goal difference, 10 points. You said 2-1 to Forest against Everton. Nope. No points there for you. You said a draw in the Fulham Brentford. No. 3-1 to Leicester. No. Bournemouth Arsenal. You said 3-1 to Arsenal. So that's fair play to you. You're up to a nice tally there. But not quite the correct goal difference. So it's 3 points nonetheless. 13. Leeds Chelsea. No. West Ham Brighton. No. Newcastle City. No. And 4-0 to Liverpool. No. So 13 points is how you finished, DK. We also had Dylan as well. Thanks for your predictions. Spurs 2-0 against Wolves. That was a correct result. So 3 points there. You said 2-0 to Forest. Nope. Palace Villa. You said a draw. So that's wrong. Leeds Chelsea. No. Fulham Brentford. No. Leicester Saints. No. Bournemouth 0 Arsenal 2. That's a correct result. So at least it's another one of those. Up to 6 points then. West Ham Brighton draw is what you went for. And it was, of course, a Brighton win. City win you went for, and that was wrong. And you also went for a 4-0 Liverpool. So 6 points, not the most ideal predictions, I'm afraid, Dylan, this week. But come back this week and see if you can redeem yourself. And then finally we had Ballum with his predictions. He went for a Spurs 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. But to be honest, I don't know if I trust it because it says that the comment was edited. And I've got to be honest, that's not ideal. Like, if you're going to put in predictions, Ballum, I don't want them to be edited because you just don't know when you've edited it. So, anyway, we'll look over that for now. And you said Everton Forest 2-1 Everton. Now, obviously, that was wrong. So, we'll give him the correct score, give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not quite sure about that from that Spurs game. Anyway, on at 7 points. You said 0-0 Leicester Southampton, and that was wrong. Fulham Brentford, wrong. Palace Villa, 2-0 to Villa. Then Bournemouth Arsenal, 1-0 Bournemouth. That was probably an unlikely prediction. 1-0 Brighton, so that's the correct result for you at least. So adding in the correct scoreline, that would be, of course, 10 points. And then you also said Leeds 1, Chelsea 0. Fair play for predicting Leeds. That's impressive stuff. That was, of course, correct. Big shock win for Leeds United in that game. And they were so much the better team. It was crazy in the end. So good prediction. But you instead get yourself a nice little... so you're on to 7, then you're on 3, so you're on 10. So you're finishing this week on a nice tally of 13. You should be happy with that, to be fair, because you got the rest of them wrong. So 13, just the same as the previous comment. And then, yeah, that's how we finish things. So looking at how I got on then with my predictions, I mean, it wasn't pretty. I'm going to say that much. It really could have been a lot better. We started off with that prediction between the likes of Spurs and Wolves, and we went for a 2-1 Spurs, so at least goal difference there. Draw in the Palace Villa game, that was wrong. 1-0 Everton was unfortunately wrong. Brentford 2-0 is what I went for, so again, wrong. We backed Southampton to win. I'm very happy about that. That was a great prediction from me. I said 1-0, so correct goal difference. So that's 5 points. 3-1 to Arsenal. It's close enough, we said, but it was 3-0. 2-1 Chelsea, of course, is what we predicted, but that was wrong. And we predicted a draw in the Brighton game, a 2-0 City win, and a 3-0 Liverpool win. So, yeah, not the greatest of weeks, but to be honest, I don't think we can blame ourselves. It was a tough week. A lot of shocks with Leeds winning, Liverpool obviously losing, City drawing, Brighton beating West Ham. That was another shock. Southampton beating Leicester, but I did predict that, so, you know, it was a bit of a week of shocks, really. So, very interesting. Let's move on, though, to match week 4 and see if we really can, try and emulate those kind of early kind of points from last week and finish on a bit better of a score than our 13 last week. So, moving into match week 4, we've got Southampton against Manchester United. This is a very fascinating, intriguing game to kick off the game week 4. Southampton, they've not started brilliantly, but before that Leicester game, I was thinking they might be in trouble. They were superb against Leicester. Really, really good. Che Adams, 2 fantastic goals off the bench, and you'd think he'd have to start in this one, and you would imagine he would score because, it's that Southampton team, it's all through him. Manchester United, I don't know quite what to think about Manchester United because, yes, they were fantastic against Liverpool, but was that Liverpool just being on an off day? To be fair to Manchester United, they put in the effort, they put in the determination, and they really worked for that victory. But was it because of the fact it was a rivalry? Who knows? Man United, let's see if their temporary form is a bit more long-lasting. I feel United will get the victory, though. As much as Southampton will give them a big fight, I think this could be a thrilling game, though, with both teams defensively quite suspect. Southampton 2, Manchester United 3. First goal scorer of the day, I'm going to say, is going to be for the Red Devils, and that is Bruno Fernandes. But then Southampton get back a goal through Che Adams. Then Southampton go ahead in the game, and it's another trademark set piece from James Ward-Prowse to go 2-1 up. United get back level to make it 2-2, and it's another goal. He scored last week. It's Marcus Rashford. And then the next goal for Manchester United to get the victory, I predict, is going to be, yes, a defender. It's Raphael Varane. So 3-2 to the Red Devils. Okay, let's move on to the next match between Brentford and Everton. Now, Brentford, I thought, were really quite underwhelming against Fulham. I say underwhelming. They had a couple of goals disallowed, but, defensively, they were much, much better in their game against Manchester United. Maybe that's because of how poor United were. But ultimately, it was a bit disappointing from a Brentford defensive point of view because the way they were conceding was too easy in that first half. But they came back, they fought back again, just like they did against Leicester, but it was not to be in the end with that header from Mitrovic. I mean, they'll feel hard done by that offside for Tony because it was offside, maybe just, but it was a very, very close call. But ultimately, yeah, they should have been better defensively. So Everton, they don't have to worry about, I don't think, in terms of defensively. Everton have not got a striker. They're not scoring enough goals, that's for sure. But they did get their first point of the season, to be fair to them, last week against Nottingham Forest with that late Damari Gray goal. But Everton are still winless. So I back Brentford. As much as they lost last week, I think they still scored the goals to make me think that they'll put a few dents in this Everton side. So I'll say Brentford 2, Everton 1. An Everton goal scorer, I'm going to go for Anthony Gordon. I think he's their only real hope. Then Brentford goal scorers, Brian Mbeumo and Ivan Toney. Okay, let's move on to Brighton and Hove Albion against Leeds United. I think this is going to be a really interesting game. Two informed sides that are scoring goals. And, you know, last season we talked about Leeds and how poor they were in terms of the relegation battle. And we also said with Brighton how, you know, they are not scoring enough goals. As high up in the table as they weren't scoring enough goals. But this season, Brighton look to be a bit better with scoring goals, and Pascal Gross has been part of that. But Leandro Trossard on the score sheet last week, I think he can get on the score sheet again, to be honest. But I don't see Leeds actually winning this game. I think it'll be a very comfortable Brighton win. As good as Leeds have been, I think Brighton are just such a solid defence to get past. So I'll say Brighton 2, Leeds United 0. Goal scorers for Brighton is going to be, firstly, Leandro Trossard, and then the goal for Brighton is Lewis Dunk. Now, it's Chelsea versus Leicester, and I honestly feel this is a sort of match that I could see a upset. Now, I say an upset, Leicester have been really poor, so it's going to be a big result if Foxes do get it, but their record against Chelsea is quite good, especially coming to Stamford Bridge. So, with rumours of Maddison out injured, I don't think he's going to start this one, but I do feel Leicester will get back a point. Chelsea have just been so poor recently, and I don't see that changing. Chelsea 2, Leicester 2. Goal scorers for Chelsea, I think Reece James will get on the score sheet first with a rasper. And then Leicester equalised through Jamie Vardy, who actually does score against Chelsea quite often. And then the Leicester goal to get them in front, would you believe it, is going to be an unlikely scorer. But in midfield, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. And then Chelsea get back their equaliser at the death. And it's their first Chelsea goal for Raheem Sterling. Now, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. This is a huge game for Liverpool. They simply have to be back to their best because they have started the season in quite disappointing fashion. Manchester United game, they were all over the shop and didn't get going till about the 70th minute of the game. And even then, they didn't score soon enough. And eventually, that Salah goal was little to kind of change the result. So, you know, they need to kind of sharpen up. But I think this is the perfect game to do that. A Bournemouth team that have been conceding goals left, right and centre. As good as they were against game week 1, Villa, I think that was a bit of a flash in the pan, and Villa were very poor on the day. So I think Bournemouth will struggle here at Anfield. I'll say Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 0. Goal scorers for Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andrew Robertson, Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. Now, Man City against Palace. This is a game I can see City winning, but I do feel Palace will give them a big, difficult match because Palace, they have been their bogey team for Manchester City recently, but Palace, I just don't feel are going to get past this solid Man City defence. I think they might get kind of a couple goals, City, but it won't be a thrashing. And I can see actually Palace scoring now I think about it. So I'll say City 2, Palace 1. But a nice first goal for Joao Cancelo of the season. Then Palace equalise through the in-form Wilfried Zaha. And then City get their winner. And it's once again the striker from Dortmund, Erling Haaland. Arsenal versus Fulham is next. And I honestly feel this is a game that Fulham could do quite well in. I don't think they'll win. I think Arsenal will get the 3 points. But I feel Fulham, with how good they have been this season, will give a real test for Arsenal. So I'm saying Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Fulham goal scorer to be Decordova-Reid. And then the Arsenal goal scorers, I'm going to say it's Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. Okay, the assist, by the way, for that Fulham goal from a corner is going to be whipped in by Andreas Pereira and a bullet header from Bobby Decordova-Reid. Now, it's Villa against West Ham United. This is a game I can really be seeing entertaining. But West Ham need to get back to basics. Yes, we've said it a few times because it's stressing how important this game is for West Ham. They've been in a very, very bad start to the season, still yet to get a goal and still yet to get a point. So it's as simple as this for West Ham. Have to get on the score sheet, and I think they will. Jared Bowen was really good last season. He's not quite kicked off so far, but I think this is the game for him to do it. And I think Villa, they've been a bit up and down. They were good against Everton, but I just don't think that Villa are going to keep it up. Villa 1, West Ham 2. And then Wolves and Newcastle, I just don't know what this Wolves team are going to do. They're not scoring enough goals, but to be honest, they played well against Spurs, so there's room for optimism there. Newcastle, on the other hand, were absolutely outstanding in the game at home against Man City, and I honestly feel Newcastle will get the 3 points here. So Wolves 1, Newcastle 3. Newcastle goal scorers, we're going to go for Joel Linton, Callum Wilson, and a centre-back, Fabian Schär. And then the goal scorer for Wolves, I think, will be Gonzalo Guedes. And then we've got Newcastle versus Tottenham Hotspur. And this is a game I can be really interested to watch because Nottingham Forest have done well, to be fair to them, but not quite well enough to get that away win against Everton. I think, though, this will be their biggest test, and I think they will lose. But you never know. The Premier League's been seeing bigger shocks than this. So Spurs to win this one by 3 goals to 1. Forest get their goal through a bit of Brennan Johnson. But then Spurs goal scorers is going to be Dejan Kulusevski, Harry Kane, who actually has scored in 30 of the 31 Premier League clubs he's faced. That one team he didn't score against was Brentford, but he's not faced Nottingham Forest in the Premier League yet. So can he make it 31 from 32? And then the third Spurs goal, we're going to say, is going to be scored by the defender, that is Romero. So Romero, Kane, and Kulusevski. Thanks for watching my Premier League predictions for match week number 4. Get yours in the comment section below, and let's hope we get more than those 13 last week. Unlucky for some, but hopefully not another hanging omen for this week. Let's get those 25 points. That's just a prediction. It's probably going to not happen. We're playing against QPR, and I know we're not in the Premier League, but that's where we want to be, and we can just do that. I believe.